HarperCollins presents The Cruise Club by Caroline James, read by Patience Tomlinson. Chapter 1. A cruise is more than the start of a journey. It is the beginning of a love affair with the sea, where every port brings a new adventure. Carmen Cunningham fought the impulse to murder her mother. If Carmen's life was a novel, Betty Cunningham would have been edited out long ago, for no matter how hard she tried to please, Carmen could never satisfy the old lady's relentless demands. At 80, Betty was a force to be reckoned with. Despite pleading infirmity, she moved with surprising agility, and whenever Carmen felt the old lady's silver-topped cane prod into her arm, she found it hard not to snatch it from her mother's hand. It would be easy to pick up a cushion, hold it to Betty's face, and muzzle the endless nagging. For whatever Carmen did to make life easier, it was never to her mother's liking, and at times Carmen despaired. "For heaven's sake, Carmen, can't you do anything right?" Betty watched her daughter struggle with a laden tray. "You know I like my tea at 5 o'clock, and you're 10 minutes late." Betty's permed grey hair bounced like a cloud of silvery spaghetti as she snapped out each word. Carmen, named after her father's favourite opera, bit back a retort. Long ago, she'd learned that arguing with her mother was like trying to hold back the tide. Instead, she offered a placating smile. "Sorry, Mum. I was busy." "Busy? How can you be busy?" Betty muttered. "Look at this room. When was the last time you cleaned? My asthma wouldn't be half as bad if I didn't have to live in a dust bowl." Carmen placed the tray down and sighed. Betty's asthma had a schedule of its own, and only flared up if there was a job to be done. It was no use reminding her mother that Agnes, their delightful home help, was on a much-needed break in Cornwall, and Carmen made a mental note to try and remember to run a duster around the room as soon as she cleared the tea things. Her latest manuscript would have to wait. Cosy crime writer Carmen Cunningham was behind on a deadline, and like Agnes, her ideas had gone on holiday too. Carmen's current writer's block meant staring at a blank page while her imaginary friends stayed silent. "I'm sorry, Mum, but I'm trying to finish my new novel, and the hours seem to slip away," Carmen said. "No wonder your skin is aging, slouched over that TV all day." Betty's tone was cruel. She sat stiffly in her armchair and lifted a salmon paste sandwich to her lips. "Do you want to end up like Mrs. Mitchell down the road?" Carmen removed her heavy-rimmed glasses and touched her face to smooth her skin. She'd be delighted to end up like Mrs. Mitchell, who, despite chronic osteoarthritis, was on her 4th husband. Her life was one long happy holiday, and the woman always had a cheery word and a beaming smile, telling Carmen that she was a saint for putting up with her mother. "It's not a TV," Carmen said. "I work on a laptop. It's how I write," she patiently explained, and handed Betty a folded napkin. "What's wrong with a pen and paper?" Betty chewed with exaggerated slowness, dabbing at her mouth with a napkin balled between her fingers. "No wonder you need glasses if you use those newfangled machines." Moving to the window, Carmen tucked her glasses in a pocket and tweaked a curtain to shade the late afternoon sun from blinding Betty while she ate. As Betty moaned that her tea was lukewarm, Carmen stared at the lawn, where sparrows pecked the grass. "At least someone's enjoying their meal," she thought. Even in the simple act of eating, Betty found something to complain about, her dissatisfaction with the world as unyielding as her tongue. If Betty was a character in Carmen's current novel, she would have been killed off by now. But as
Sample complete. Ready to continue?